Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts this evening, Michael, followed by other host, Kat.
Hi.
And other host, Sage.
Yeah.
And you have a topic, so go
I
ahead.
do.
I hate you.
Because I have a topic?
Yeah.
Or because I
How dare you be prepared?
I know.
This is an unprepared
I'm-
podcast.
I'm
We're going to
really
talk about garbage. That's
I'm
why.
sorry. Well, here's the thing. So there's been a lot of discourse about Velma.
Uh-huh.
Yep, sure is.
And because I guess want to torture myself, whenever things are getting like hated on, I don't like to just blindly agree with hate. So
That's fair.
I'm like, okay, let me take it upon myself and watch it, get some insight, and then I can form my own hateful opinions.
All right.
Right? But based off of facts.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, let me watch it. It's only 10 episodes, 25 minutes per episode. I can get through this.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. That's so fast. That's
If
like
the show
one
wasn't
sitting.
hard to watch.
I think I got either up to or through episode 5. And I was
when
gonna
it hit.
I was actually it hit after the first episode.
Yeah,
But
I got hit
I
the
was like,
first
I need to
episode.
watch more than one episode to like really
Form a hateful opinion.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna finish it last night, but it was just thinking about having to waste more of my life, that like time I'll never get back.
That's very
on
true.
watching
You
it,
won't.
and then instead I went out and had a lovely meal, and I was like, you know what?
Good choice.
Better for me.
Yeah.
Um,
You took care of yourself mentally
Yeah,
and physically.
but it's just, I think the distaste is warranted.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that I think they do well is the hallucination sequences. I think they're interesting to
animation
look
is
at.
good,
The
yeah.
animation is really nice. I think that's basically like the only praise I can give this show.
So my thing with it is I only watched the first episode, so I don't have
Right.
as much as a, educational hatred for it. I only have the first episode.
you got a taste.
Yeah. But so my problem with it is, and a lot of people, it's just not fucking Scooby-Doo. Like, why did you even attach it? I
Right.
think it would have done fine as a show
If it was just called Mindy.
yeah,
because it is just Mindy Kaling being herself.
Yeah.
if it had nothing to do with Scooby-Doo, because it basically
It
doesn't.
Yeah.
So if they just did that, it's basically just like another Big Mouth. Like, it would have been fine. It would have been successful.
It's like Big Mouth, but less nuanced and less funny.
Yes, but
And
I think it
and
would have
you're
been
just-
funny enough that people wouldn't be shitting on it like this.
Because also it shits on characters people like.
Exactly, and
Well,
that's why
the thing
people are so
is,
fucking angry.
In terms of it being connected to Scooby-Doo, the only thing that even comes close to resembling any other Scooby-Doo property
Color
is,
schemes.
is their outfits.
Yeah.
And minus Norville, their names.
Right.
And also,
don't know
what
why
I
they
don't
did that.
understand, like, so just their very vague physical appearance and their names minus Norville is related to Scooby-Doo. But then the characters don't act like anybody that
Nope.
they're supposed to be.
Nope.
Like, they make Fred a literal, like stretched out baby.
Yeah, he's a crybaby baby rich kid.
Like, he's so incompetent.
Which that was a weird thing to add because Daphne was always the one that like came from money.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like
then
weird.
sometimes Shaggy, but it just didn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like they make Fred such a like helpless literal child that when he's like on trial for murder, they're like, see, he can't even cut a steak. How is he gonna murder someone? And he's like using his utensils the wrong way. I'm like,
But can't you see the scathing take about white rich kids?
but what's stupid about it is like, first
It's
of
so
all,
nuanced.
Can't you see the comedy
Oh.
in upside
but
down
I'm like,
utensils?
first of all, like,
Obviously.
yes, Fred has always been like a mild himbo, but like,
But in like a tasteful
Yeah,
way where
but
it's
he's
actually
always-
entertaining
he's
and
always
lovable.
been the charmer of
Yeah.
the group, like the one that's really good with people and like things like that.
Except for the Mystery Incorporated one where he's just obsessed with traps at all times.
Yes, but like
that's
he's
great. Everybody
but he's
likes
also
that.
never actively stupid. Like he makes like poor choices in his trap building because
Right.
it like
there's a
shit
reason
goes
that
awry.
he was the leader.
Right,
Yeah,
but
it's
he's
just,
not
like,
stupid.
It's literally
Yeah.
like, because everyone says it's like, if you wanted a commentary on the Mystery Inc. group, you should just watch the Mystery Incorporated show, because it's just like takes on their character to an extreme that makes it funny.
yeah.
Like Fred only like being trap sexual.
And also, like,
Transsexual.
what makes me annoyed is that they keep doing these like things where they set up a joke,
And they
but
don't
then
follow
there's
through?
either no punchline, or instead of like an actual like, okay, we set up this joke and here's the joke, then 1 second after the joke they'll just say like a very obvious statement about like real life, and it ruins the joke. Like, I think this might be in episode 1, but they're holding like a memorial service for a girl that got killed, right?
Yes.
And the memorial service, like, the friend is singing Pony, which could have been a good joke if you had
Yeah.
just left it at that, right? Because the friend's like, this was her favorite song in the world, right?
Yeah.
That could have been funny. But then immediately after that, they're like, you know, usually when sluts die, people think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
deserve it.
No,
but
I
she
totally
was
get
one
what
of
you're
those
saying.
sluts who didn't deserve it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why are we going this way? Like, please chill out. And they keep doing this thing constantly. In teen movies, when this happens, X, Y, and Z happens. Who talks like that? No
But
one.
Sage, can't you understand the subtlety of all
No,
of
there's no subtlety. It's like I'm being run over. Like, I don't understand. And then they have Velma is like actively stupid.
Yeah, isn't that so
She-
weird? Because I've
she
seen like
uses
TikToks of
Norville
people talking about it for like homework.
For
and shit, yeah.
homework and to like cheat on
Yeah,
people.
yeah, that's
and I'm like,
don't know what the fuck's up
what?
with that.
You can't have her be this like extremely mean, judgmental person who thinks she's the smartest person in the room. If
she's
she's not
fucking
even
dumb,
going
yeah.
to be the smartest person in the room.
It's almost the same thing with Wednesday. I don't know if either of you have watched
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched it.
Because like she has the same kind of mentality and also is an awful detective when she thinks she's great. She gets
Right.
everything wrong throughout the show. But the difference is she's at least likable.
Right.
True.
Not only is Wednesday actually likable, but like she is actively trying.
Right.
And she has good intentions.
She does
whereas
think she's
Velma
the
is
smartest
just
in
a
the room and
piece
is
of
kind
shit.
of wrong, but also like
She's like the
I
second
mean,
smartest in the room.
She's very smart. She was
she's just wrong every time.
Yeah, she was just taking
Whereas
it in the
Velma,
wrong direction.
she's like the 30th smartest person in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
And like it's very weird. And then you have Daphne, who has done basically nothing. Also, all of this like lesbian baiting and this, that, the
Wait,
other
but
thing.
also the fact of like that they added in it like shaming Fred because he doesn't want to have sex because his legs are
Hair, because he's a late
yeah.
bloomer.
Yeah. There's like this. Okay, so this is a thing in it that it turns out. I mean, these are spoilers, but I don't even care. Don't even give them a spoiler. Whatever. Fuck these people. I don't even care. She talks about how they've been dating for like a year and they haven't done anything. They haven't had sex. Like basically just like shitting on him because he hasn't or didn't want to. And then there was like a part where she was trying to go into his pants and he was like, what do you like, stop.
Yeah, and she's
And-
like, he's so insecure.
and then she was
I don't
like,
know
so
how
then
much
when,
longer I
Fred,
can wait.
When like all this like horrible shit, like, and it turns out it's because he doesn't grow leg hair. Like that's their joke that they added this. But why the fuck are they just like that people should feel bad about setting boundaries, like that
Right.
they don't want to, like, and saying no, like
Right.
This show,
I don't know.
like, most of it is just so weirdly mean-spirited, and it's not just mean-spirited to, like, one thing, right? Where we can all just be like, yeah, this is objectively bad, and, like, that should get shit on. No, it's literally for everything.
Yeah.
And what doesn't make sense is, like, so Velma and Daphne have a kiss, but I think it's in episode 2, and the setup is Velma has these, like, literal heart attack inducing hallucinations, which no one takes seriously. Like, her dad is like, can you just stop fucking around, let's go. I'm like, if your daughter is writhing on the floor having a heart attack, I don't think that's the
She's
appropriate
being
response.
dramatic.
The
Sage.
commentary,
Like,
Sage.
and then-
the commentary.
And then she's having another hallucination, and she's on the phone with Norville,
Oh,
and
yes,
he's
that was in the
like,
first
"Oh, I'm just
episode.
trying to say that I like you, and I've like been really like
Yeah.
holding it in." She literally laughs in his face.
Yeah.
and she's like, "That's
She
such
said-
a good
yeah,
joke. Keep going."
Yeah, she literally says, it's so funny, it's working, keep going. Like,
and
Right.
then
keep saying
she
it.
has in
And
episode,
then he does.
and I think in episode,
well, yeah, he's
2,
like hardcore simping on her the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very strange. And then in episode 2, I think she has a hallucination in front of Daphne, and Daphne's solution is, "Oh, you're mid heart attack. Let me give you a smooch." Hello?
Was she trying to save her?
Like, I don't know. And then afterwards, they decide, we haven't been friends. We kind of like broke off our friendship, so let's try and be friends before we decide to be girlfriends, right? And I'm like, okay, that's reasonable, makes sense. But then Velma is constantly trying to like fuck Daphne, and Daphne's like, no, we're trying to be friends. We're trying to like reestablish what we had.
There's a lot of weird, like,
It's
sexual
no, yeah.
stuff.
And
of,
then
like,
later-
people aren't allowed to have boundaries in this show.
And then later in the show, I think this might be episode 3 or 4, because it's hard to tell, because one, every episode, so much, and yet nothing happens.
yeah, they feel like they're an hour long.
They move at a lightning and glacial pace at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the clip where it was like some of the dialogue, and it's Shaggy or Norville being like, "Oh yeah, I left you a bunch of voicemails," and it was like he just keeps going on.
VMs,
right? VMs, voicemails, and then he like goes on like a sentence later. He's like VMs, voicemails. She's like, "I fucking get it," but he does it for like 7 times in a minute.
It's too many fucking times that, like, they're just beating a dead horse. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like nobody talks like this.
Yeah, it's weird, because this is kind of a problem throughout as well, is that like either they set up the joke, right, and then there's no payoff, or they immediately like,
do you get it? Do you
right,
get the joke?
something like
Do
that.
you get the, here's a
Or
joke.
it goes on for so long. Like, you know how like later Family Guy, most people say is bad because the jokes are just way too long.
Like when he falls over and scrapes his knee, and it's just like 5 minutes of him going,
right.
ah.
I feel like that's the 3 kind of jokes they do. And the ones that go on way too long, it is torturously long. I'm like, if you had just done like a quick flash cut and then moved on, that would have been funny. Yeah. It would have landed. Like, I don't know, did you guys write the show, animate it, and voice cast it, but like all separately? Nobody was in a room
Nobody
together
knew.
at any
Yeah.
point during this
They're
production.
like, everybody do your part of the project, and then we'll come together and we'll make it work.
Like, did nobody watch it before they were like,
that's
here's
the
the
thing
release
that's
date?
Yeah, like that's the thing that's wild, that these people like actively made this and we're like, yeah, that's it, we did it, guys, like, let's put that out, that's some great shit. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I have a question, because
Yeah.
I don't actually know, because I don't know Mindy Kaling and like anything else. Is she funny?
No.
Okay.
Most people don't find her
Okay.
very funny.
That's what I was curious.
Well, I don't
because
want to say
was like,
most people. Most people I know personally don't find her
I was
very
wondering
funny.
if this is like a hard miss, or if this is kind of just like
I
her
feel like-
I've never
stuff.
found her form of comedy very funny. It's
Well, because her form of comedy is essentially being like, fuck white people. Like, that's a big portion of it. And like being like, oh, just because I'm a woman, and I'm like,
purposely trying to make yourself the minority,
right? And I'm
to
like,
make jokes
I get
kinda
it,
thing.
but I think there was like an interview going around about her being like, oh, like when they were developing this Velma show, and they were talking about how like they made Daphne Asian and Shaggy is black and Velma is Indian, right? And they're like, yeah, but Velma, she's just so smart and blah, blah, blah. And I really saw myself in her, and I wanted to like have this great representation for young Indian girls, which is like, great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Literally nobody cares, right? Except Velma herself as a character is the biggest piece of shit. So I'm like, so now you want people to think that young Indian girls are extremely entitled and have no boundaries and like
Well, also,
incredibly crass and
On
rude.
that, I saw someone on TikTok, she was an Indian girl, and she was saying the same thing of kind of, you know, if you want to write this in, like, that's great representation, that's always awesome, but you just did it where it's like horrible. Like, why would you want that? Like, when Fred's, you know, you find out about hairless, and then she just shits on herself about how she's so hairy, and she would go to school every single day in a bikini if she was like him, and all of this, and it's like, that's not like embracing yourself. That's just continuing to shit on like what
The
these
stereotypes.
exactly what these girls could be like insecure about, or like you know, these stereotypes continuing, and like it's not helping anything. So what the fuck is like the point?
And I feel like it's also the same with like and like I'm not trying to speak for behalf of any, but like a lot of the TikToks I've seen about people talking about Shaggy or Norville, it's like it's a lot of people in the black community being like, this sucks. Like, it's not a very good representation of anything. Like, Shaggy was white and he was a brother. Like, cool. And I'm like, and, you know, again, that's for their opinion or, you know, people of the community to have. But, like, I feel like I haven't seen one take from anybody on social media that was like, I like this version.
Yeah. And
so then it feels like it's just a wasted attempt to represent. Like, if you're going to do it, it should be something that people want.
Because I don't
weird because
anybody
every
liked it.
character
Right.
in this show is an actively worse character than their original counterparts. Like,
Or
Like, if
they're
Shaggy
nothing
was-
like them.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, if
I mean,
Shaggy
they're
was the same
nothing like
person, just
themselves.
black, that's fine.
they're
Like,
nothing like themselves, but they're actively dragging down the names. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, they make Daphne Asian, and she has, like, 2 moms, and she was adopted, right? Except Daphne being Asian, like, literally is meaningless. Like, you...
Well, does it have to have a meaning if you change a person's skin?
No,
Like
but
skin
I'm
tone
saying,
or
like...
race?
I think one of her first lines is her, like, Velma literally assaults her and, like, kicks her shit in with a hockey stick. And this is literally in the first 3 minutes. And she's like, what are your takes on, like, race blind casting? And Daphne literally goes, well, as an Asian woman myself, I think it's great. I'm like, no one talks like that. What the fuck? Like, are you saying she's Asian because your character design is so poor you can't even tell she's Asian? Is that it?
This show, man.
I don't understand.
Right.
Like, if you did not explicitly tell me this woman is supposed to be Asian, I have no clue.
Right.
Like, you can't. And then later on, she wants to, like, find her bio parents, right? It's this whole thing. And literally while she's talking about, like, finding her bio parents, she's like, I want to know, like, my heritage, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, but I also want to know why my hair is orange. And then we see her bio parents, and neither of their hair is orange. So it's not even explained when we meet them because both her parents are Asian.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, can Asian people have orange hair?
I would say you would have to be with somebody who has natural orange hair, and having redhead hair is a recessive gene.
Right.
So it would be a really, really small chance that you would be born with orange hair. But I don't know that it would be impossible. But Asian
It's not
hair,
impossible. It's just hard.
yeah, I feel like Asian hair is very distinct, and like
Well, also, dark hair is
the dominant,
Yeah.
is the like maybe you would come out like curly hair but dark, but I don't know that you would come out with the red hair.
I think for like better chances, it would have to be 2 people with orange hair have a child. So, okay, actually, let's set it further back. So, even
everyone has orange hair up to the kid.
Yeah, and well, that kid. No, so the parent also has orange hair, but
Right.
all of theirs in the back, it's all recessive. There is no dominant left.
Right.
All recessive for that parent, and then the kid would have better chances, but still, it's still dominant. So then they could have like 10 kids, and then maybe one of them.
Yeah,
will
one
end
of
up
them
with-
might pop out with
Yeah.
orange hair. But like, it's just stupid, and nothing feels purposeful. Like, I thought there was one funny joke later on where they weirdly shit on like school guidance counselors and school principals, because Norville's mom is the school principal and his dad is the guidance counselor.
Okay.
And Velma's like, well, you're a guidance counselor, how much lower can you get? And I'm like,
What?
the fuck? Why? Guidance counselors are very useful. I don't understand. So that was weird. But then there's this.
A lot of these takes are
No,
really
they're-
fucking weird.
No, like the show is weirdly mean-spirited towards literally everyone. And I don't really get why.
I think they think hate is comedy.
I don't know. And it's weird because like they make jokes about basically everyone in the show. And none of them are funny. And there's like this one part where Daphne is selling drugs to be able to hire a private investigator to find her bio parents. And Velma decides to help her because she needs a case file, whatever, because Daphne's parents are cops.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So Velma
never
is
mind.
trying to sell people drugs. Like zero subtlety. She walks around with like a rolling backpack. Drugs here. Get your drugs here. And of course, no one's going to be like, yeah, give me some drugs out in the open. And there's like this one thing where like she's like, oh, I got drugs. And then there's like 3 kids and they're like, narc, right? Because come on.
Yeah.
And Velma just goes, white girl with too much money. White girl with too much money. I'm like, that's not even a joke.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And then it continues with her trying to sell drugs. And she makes like extremely accurate like assumptions of like what people feel bad about themselves about and why they should buy the drugs to help them with that. And I'm like, this doesn't even make
There's
sense.
just like so many wrong morals in this show, and
Yeah.
not every show has to have morals.
And
but
then-
like stuff you don't want to like put out there to
It's
like
very
make the
uncomfortable.
situation like worse, like all the sexual things. Like that's not really something you should put. And then like I don't know.
I think
It's
in
so fucking
episode
weird.
3, the police come to the school and they're like, okay, we figured out the MO of the serial killer. They're only killing hot girls and taking their brains, right? Adult police officers are saying, we need to make a list of the 5 hottest girls in this high school
The show
so
is-
they can get personal protective details so they don't get killed, right? And then they ask Velma to make the list. And they also ask her to like make the girls ugly so they don't get murdered. But then there was another thing that could have been a good joke. So after Velma tries to make the girls ugly, she's with the like 2 detectives or whatever, and she's like showing a picture of the 5 hot girls, and she's like, this is what you know them as, right? And they're under like a blanket, but we've transformed them, and they like take off the blanket, they look exactly the same, right? Could have been a funny joke. But then the cops are like literally salivating over these like 15 to 16-year-old girls, and it's really weird. And then afterwards they say, oh, we can't give them details anymore because they are literally sexually harassing our officers. And I'm like, what is the joke? I don't
Wait, so
understand.
the cops are being weird, and then they're being weird to the cops?
The girls are like harassing their personal detail. That's not like the cops who are like
Right.
leading the investigation. I'm like, I don't understand. What is the
can't-
joke?
I
It's so awful.
don't. It just. I don't.
I
No
don't-
thanks.
No, thank you. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. I really don't know how this is getting a season 2.
So that's the thing, though. Too many people
Hate
watched
watched it.
it that it got enough that they were like, "Oh, well, we made money off of it, so we're gonna do it again."
Might as well.
Because that's the thing that I saw of like a lot of people going back and forth, being like, I don't know. You know, like on one hand, we shouldn't all be watching it because then that's going to boost their ratings and then they're going to want to do it again. And then on the other hand, if it flops so hard, then they're worried that, you know, they're just going to throw out the Scooby-Doo IP because they're like, it's not popular anymore. Nobody cares about it kind of thing. So it's just
Well,
like.
the thing is
both
I feel like
sucks.
that's not even. I feel like to say that the Scooby-Doo IP isn't popular anymore is inaccurate. Because Warner Brothers, when they were first pitching this show, they were like, you can have the human characters, you're not allowed to have Scooby. That's why he's not in the show.
I thought they just like chose.
No, they wanted to have Scooby, and Warner Brothers was like, no. You cannot taint Scooby.
That's even weird. Like if
Scooby is too iconic
if you were
to be tainted by your horrible show.
If you were aware that this is gonna happen, then why the fuck even let them have any of the characters?
I guess. I mean, how could they know?
They probably were like,
how could they know? Because if you're going in with the pitch of we want to have a Velma focused story of her solving this mystery,
with
right?
diversifying the cast, they're probably like, all right.
They're like,
yeah,
sure.
but the fact that beforehand they're like, but you can't have Scooby.
Well, because I assume in the pitch they said it was going to be more adult driven, right?
Yeah.
And Scooby is obviously a beloved, like, childhood icon.
They didn't want to have the dog.
Because Scooby-Doo is the face of Scooby-Doo.
They should just not let them have anything.
But speaking of which, wait, there was something else I was going to say that was weird about the show. And now I can't remember it, but I might remember later.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, so while you're thinking of that, I just, as a quick aside, did you guys see that? So you know how Warner Brothers, like with the Batgirl movie, they wrote it off for tax reasons, so it's like not ever going to come out. That thing.
No, I did
Rip.
not know that.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah, so that happened, right? And everyone was very upset. Apparently, they did that with like 3 other movies. One of them being a Scooby-Doo movie, or 2 Scooby-Doo movies. Somebody hacked into their vault and found one of the Scooby-Doo movies and just put it out online. And it was one that people didn't even know was a thing. It was a different Scooby-Doo movie than what people thought it was, which was, it's like Scooby-Doo and the gang with Crypto, like the super
Crypto
dog.
the super dog.
Yeah,
I loved that show.
And so like it's finished. It's fully animated. Like they just decided to trash it.
In the same vein as like, what was it, 2020 or 2021 Scoob, like that 3D kind of look.
Nope.
Oh,
2D.
okay.
And like it's everybody's like that saw it, like that's watched it so far is like, this just feels like it's so weird to use as a tax write-off, because like it's absolutely like nobody's saying it's great, but they're like, it's just like a middle of the road Scooby-Doo movie they put out every 2 to 3 years that everybody like kind of enjoys and then like moves on with their life. But they trashed it for some reason, and so somebody just broke it to their fucking server and was like, putting this online.
Yoink.
Oh my god,
That's funny.
And everyone's like, yo, I can't wait for Batgirl to be put on the fucking online at some point. I guess this guy, like, or whoever they are, has like access. He's trying to get other shit.
You know, DC is finally putting out Flash.
Yep. No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
I saw a trailer for it the other day, and I was like, "What?"
we
the
talked about that
fuck?
last episode.
Oh, did you really?
Well, briefly.
Yeah, I mean, they announced it back when James Gunn took over. They're like, it's still coming out.
Yeah.
For whatever the.
I just
fuck
kept
reason.
thinking that it was just gonna be like forever delayed type deal.
Me and everyone else. I feel like everyone was like, this movie
Should have just
can't
trashed
come
it.
out.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
They're like.
I might
I
watch
don't
it
know.
when it comes out on
it's
HBO
so-
Max,
it's so
but I'm not
odd.
gonna go to the theaters for it.
It's so odd. Like, I'm kind of interested just because of at least like Michael Keaton,
Right.
but I hate Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I don't want to give Ezra Miller my ticket money.
And the fact that they were like, if they fix their shit up, like maybe they can come back and be the Flash. And I'm like, no, sorry, they can come back and be the Flash.
Right.
Like, first of all, they're not a great actor.
They're too far gone.
I don't think they're that good of an actor to begin with. I think that their portrayal of Barry is also bad. And like, I don't know. Also, I don't know what the fuck it is with like movies and games of late and like of iterations of the Flash costume. This is a bit of a nerdier side. I know you guys can't really put it, but like,
It's fine.
the Flash doesn't need armor.
No.
He is so ungodly fast. He doesn't need armor.
He literally wears a catsuit.
But like, yet
He wears a unitard.
It just needs to be a frictionless suit. So like,
Yeah.
it's always just like. But for some fucking reason, in video games and like in movies, they always give him armor. Like the only time they don't is the Flash TV show, which is like, I still don't think it's the perfect suit. It still looks like kind of odd. Mm-hmm. But I think it's as best as you're gonna get, just because usually like costumes like that are always gonna look a bit weird.
Right.
But like, it's weird that the TV show with zero budget has
Can do
a better
job. Well, the
Flash
problem
suit
is
than both movies.
I feel like a part of that is like a DC problem where they keep trying to like reinvent the wheel with these stupid fucking costumes. Like when Aquaman came out, I'm like, y'all are just doing too much. Like, relax. It doesn't need to be this.
I mean, I did
The
think
man
that
is wearing leggings.
I did think
Chill
that
out.
the orange like armor, like King Neptune armor, actually looked fine.
Like I don't. No,
Just
I'm not
'cause-
saying it was
oh, yeah.
bad. I'm just saying they constantly want to do more then they
just trying to
really
outdo
need
themselves.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know.
Even
like,
though people wouldn't care if it repeated. Like if it works, it works.
Seriously.
yeah, I don't know. That's a personal gripe. I don't think any of the costumes look very good. I think the helmet for this new one looks especially stupid. And I just don't understand why you keep giving the Flash armor. He doesn't need it. But anyway,
Yeah.
did you remember what you wanted to say?
Yeah, I do remember. There was this thing that was, again, potentially a funny joke. Where Norville's dad is the school guidance counselor, and he was saying something along the lines like, if you just wear a cardigan, people will open up to you because they think you're like more in tune.
Possibly a funny joke, yeah.
Possibly a funny joke. So he gives Norville the cardigan to go talk to Fred while he's in prison, and it's like the lasso of truth, essentially. Which could have been really funny if they just did it like the once and he was hypnotized and he was like, here's all the information, and then they just cut away from it. But then they just kept going with it. And I'm like, you had a good thing.
I feel like that it's the same kind of way that bit could have been funny of like do you remember the SpongeBob episode Squidward's hand goes out of the curtain?
Yeah, and then
everyone stopped-
SpongeBob's hand goes out. Yeah.
It's like the same thing with like the cardigan where he's like, everyone just opens up to you if you're wearing the cardigan. Like someone walks in and he's wearing it and they just start talking and then he takes it off and they're like,
who the fuck are you?
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like that joke could have been kind of funny.
Yeah, like they have setups for good jokes. And then they just don't give you the good joke or a joke at all, which I don't understand.
I just don't know what the fuck happened when they were writing this. That
No.
they were like, "Yep, we did it, guys. Sure is great." Like it's all just so fucking wrong. And like I said, like if it just wasn't part of Scooby Doo, like they were
Yeah.
just different characters. Like I feel like
Everyone would have probably just been fine with it.
yeah, like they would have been like, "There's this mid-ass show."
Right.
Yeah.
There it is, but like it wouldn't be getting this hate.
Again, if I
also-
want to take down of all the characters, I'll watch Mystery Incorporated. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think I think this is in episode 2 where like it's 420 and Norville is like, 420
yes,
what
yeah.
is, right? And Velma's like, yeah, it's code for adults who still watch cartoons. I'm like, so you're also going to insult the audience who's watching your show.
Yep.
yeah,
Like, I don't understand.
because nobody's good enough.
I don't understand.
Nobody is good enough. That's the lesson that is going on in that show. Nobody can be right. Everybody sucks.
I guess, but like,
There's no such thing as goodwill.
but like, at least within the first 5 episodes, literally not one character has had any development, and it's only 10 episodes.
Yep.
Like,
That's what season 2's for.
you can't just have something with no
I like to
emotional
think
through line.
That at least season 2, people have already hate watched season 1, like enough to like for the curiosity that I'm hoping that like when season 2 comes out, most people are gonna be like, I know I don't have to watch this. It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it can't improve that much unless they completely rewrite
Yeah,
everything about the show.
they literally can't because it won't make any like sense.
Unless
to do
they just
it.
decide to.
It would be
Unless
very,
they pulled like it was a dream. Wasn't that fucked up that we were all acting like that? Like,
Yeah.
unless it's something like that, but I highly doubt they'd do it.
I feel like
There's absolutely going to be a joke in the second season about how everybody reacted to the first season
Damn.
and how they,
Because that's so quirky.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got it.
oh, we hate ourselves too.
Yeah, I think she said in an interview too about like when somebody asked about how like the show was, and I think she like claimed victim of like everybody's just sexist and like racist and nobody.
I could believe it.
Yeah, and it's like
But have you seen that interview
No.
that's been circulating? I think it was on like Jimmy Kimmel or something. I don't know when this interview was, but it was a Jimmy Kimmel interview, and they're talking about a show she was in, and she's saying how they're filming a scene, and she like improv'd kissing this male actor in the scene.
Yep, I did see that.
What?
And then they cut for the scene, and then like the producers were like, you can't
Do that?
what, you can't just do that. And then apparently this is what she said. She goes, if you tell anyone, you're fired.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and she
That's
admitted
not-
it too.
That's not how. Like, you can't be here claiming, oh, women are treated in X, Y, and Z way, and nobody believes us and blah, blah, blah. And men are so terrible. But then you act literally in the same way when you are in a position of
Well,
power.
This woman is in like
it's
La
the
La
same thing with
Land,
was it Cardi B who like admitted that she like drugged people and stole their money?
Yeah, when
Right?
she was a stripper.
Yeah, she like admitted that she had drugged men and stole.
Yeah, she went
their
to court
shit.
and everything.
And like,
And I think she
everybody's
had to pay. I don't remember how it ended, but I think she had to pay like X amount in like restitution.
and like nobody ever talks about it. I'm just
Ryan
like,
still talks about it. He hates
Oh no,
it.
I saw
He
I
brings
saw
it up
I
every
saw
time.
a lot of
There's
people up
even
in
a little
arms
bit
about
mention,
it.
yeah.
People being like,
Which is fair.
That's unfair. That's a double standard. You
Like,
can't just let this woman get away with
Yeah.
that.
like again, like I'm not because I know as like a white dude, it comes off as like entitled, I guess.
Right.
But like, if a guy did that, they'd be, unless they're loaded, I guess, or whatever. Like they'd be in jail.
For sure.
Like, they wouldn't just get away with
I mean,
that.
I wouldn't be surprised if, because this came out after she was already famous.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if, it was a white dude that did it. Already
Or
post-fame.
they'd be canceled.
And then
Let's change it to maybe they got away with it, but they'd be canceled.
they
Even
uncancel people all the time. Like, it'll be like a short bit of cancel and then people will get over it. So I could see it being just like that the same way.
Yeah, I
like,
guess, I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it's just with fame that kind of.
It also depends, though, because,
happens.
like, Kevin Spacey, he's out.
Wait, that.
Yeah. But that's like child crimes.
There
True,
was like a.
Which I feel like
Drugging and stealing from people was
you're
also.
absolutely
Oh, for
right.
sure.
But I feel like when children are involved in your criminal activities, people have a lot less tolerance for
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
true.
There's some.
Fuck Kevin Spacey, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
want that misinterpreted. I fucking hate that dude. Like, screw him.
There's some rapper. They all have. I don't even know.
What, like
stupid
one of the
names.
littles?
I don't know. I
Kelly?
feel like he's got like six.
No, he's in jail.
Yeah.
I know, but
I feel like he has like 6'9" in his name or
Takashi
something.
6'9".
Maybe.
Wasn't that the one that ratted on?
Yeah, he literally was like out here trying to rat on everyone in the industry, so he didn't get more
that's not
jail
him.
time.
Oh, maybe he's got like rainbow hair.
Takashi
That
6'9".
is him.
Sure
Okay,
is.
He has
yeah,
a
with
bunch
the-
of 69 tattoos on him
I
because he's a
get-
fucking child.
Okay, yeah,
Like
him.
literally, how stupid
They-
can you be?
The people didn't care. People were like, "Well, I'm still gonna support his music," and like all that. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, why?" Like, it's just
Didn't
stuff
R.
like
Kelly
that.
put out an album?
Did
From
he?
jail?
From jail? I
Did
would
he?
believe it. I don't know, but I would
I'll look it
believe
up.
it.
I think he
Oh my
did.
God.
But yeah, no, it's just this weird like wanting your cake and eating it too kind of a thing.
Yeah, he released it last year, December 9th, 2022, and it's called I Admit It. Apparently, it's awful.
Oh, good
God.
lord.
Including titles like I Found Love, Good Old Days, Freaky Sensation, and I Know You Got a Man, I Don't Care.
Imagine writing these in prison.
Good
Like just the fact that
Lord.
he did this in prison. Freaky sensation. Like, oh man, that's
there's
good.
apparently a very famous what do you call it? Oh my god, what's it called? It's a type of like Jamaican music, dance hall artist who's been in prison for years. And he just keeps putting out music and people are like obsessed with him and obsessed with his music.
Like, is it at least good?
Why do they?
Yeah,
let-
apparently
Okay.
it's really he's like one of the best
But, like,
artists.
also, what is
I
he in
didn't
jail
know-
for?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't know
know.
people could do
But
this
he's
in
in-
jail.
No, I don't he's in jail, but like
Famous jail, like where they got like the. Okay, I got you.
you know,
feel.
I think he has a lot of privileges.
I get it.
Within jail, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Vibes Cartel. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but I'm pretty
I was
sure
gonna
it's
say I
Vibes
need a-
Cartel. And I'm pretty sure Cartel is with a K, and Vibes is with a Z.
VYBZ.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, K Cartel.
Yeah, Cartel. I'm pretty sure it's Vibes Cartel, and he's been in prison for a while. Mark was telling me like this whole super long-winded backstory.
God.
What's the good word about Vibes Cartel?
He murdered somebody.
Oh, okay.
He's
Casual.
in jail for murder.
Casual.
Is it like a defending
Like
someone
a
kind of
self-defense?
murder?
Was arrested by police, blah, 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 later charged with the murder of Jamaican businessman, conspiracy and illegal possession of a firearm.
Really? You're gonna get him on that?
I think he just
He
killed
just
this dude.
murdered a guy.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it might be that he's in life for prison then.
Sure could
Life
be.
for prison, in prison for life. But yeah, he just keeps pumping out albums.
Oh, okay. He paid the bail of $3 million, but he remained in prison because of a second murder that he has connection to.
My
He was
guy.
alone.
His bail
My
was
guy.
$3 million, but they're like, we're gonna keep you here anyway because you murdered another guy.
Seems like it.
Good lord, why he should be like, can I get a refund on that first
Can
bail?
I get a refund on my bail?
A jury found
Because if I gotta
Cartel
stay
not-
here anyway, I might as well get my $3 million
They
back.
found
I
him
assume he
not-
left and then they got him
They found
again.
him not guilty on the charge of the first murder. However, he remained in custody pending the second murder, and he was found guilty for the second murder.
Damn.
So, but did
No
he pay
refund on the
bail?
$3 million.
Did he pay bail on the first murder?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if you pay bail, let's say the second murder didn't happen. If you pay bail,
And he was sentenced to life imprisonment.
but then you're not guilty, do you get the $3 million back?
No.
Who knows?
Why? If you're innocent and you didn't do anything, you're being detained like.
Probably.
Look that up. Look that up.
Look
Actually,
that up because
that's a good point.
If you
That's a good,
literally didn't do it,
I thought I did.
and then you're just out $3 million.
I wasn't taking in the fact of the not doing it part. And I was like, why the fuck would
Why
they
would they give you your money back?
Yeah, I was like, why would they refund people? But that's a good point,
Right?
That in the if you didn't do it,
Since incarceration in 2011, Cartel has been releasing new music prolifically. Jamaican prisons have officials have denied allowing him recording privileges,
They have
and
to-
Cartel
How
has
could they
refused to state the exact source of the recordings.
how could they do what?
Bet they have
and
like a whole fucking
who's-
recordio
yeah.
studio for him.
Whose lyrical contents include current events, so it's not like he did it
Exactly.
beforehand.
No, I'm telling you, he's been putting out music since he's been in prison. Somebody look up
I
if you
am.
get a refund
Oh, I
on
was
your
about to
bail
do
if
that. You
you're
got it.
innocent.
I
Because
just
that's not something I never really thought about.
I
Because like,
never thought about that ever.
interesting. Because I remember there was like, wasn't there a whole thing with
there's literally nothing in here that says how he's actually doing it. Like they either the prison officials are lying,
Right.
or
You do get it.
They just
you do get refund?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I don't know.
How to get bail refunded?
Well, I don't know. I feel like our prison system is so fucking shady that they would be like, no refund for
Yeah,
you.
but people make
Yeah.
problems if it's money.
If the
Like,
defendant,
Rich people probably would be like, I want my $3 million back.
yeah,
Yeah, but they be setting $3 million bails for people who have like $3 in their bank account.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
But
they do
doesn't-
it
That
based
doesn't
on
matter
the-
to them.
It's based on the crime, I thought.
It is, but
Well,
I'm saying
it's based on
I-
it's based on the crime and your likelihood of being able to pay something. Like sometimes they know you have no money, so like whatever.
Gotcha.
yeah. So
Our
if,
jury says our
if you have no money, there's no point in them setting like a super high bail or bond for you because the chances of you actually like being able to pay it are so low. But if you have like a lot of money, they'll set it pretty high so they can get that money.
If someone pays your bail, this doesn't even talk about innocence. If,
Really?
If someone pays your bail and that person shows up to their trial, you get your money back.
What?
Shouldn't you always just get somebody else to post your bail? I guess you have to
But
have
if you're
someone to
in
agree.
okay, you get thrown into jail, let's say not for murder but like second degree manslaughter, right? But it looks bad, so they post your bail at like $500,000. Bail you have to pay what, 50%? So who are you calling to be like, can you pay my $250,000 worth of bail?
So
Fair.
Because you got to pay it in full. You can't just be writing them like installment checks.
factors considered in determining bail are nature and circumstance of the charged offense, potential penalty of charged offense, family and ties in the community, employment history, length of residency and reputation in the community, history of mental health and mental illness and substance abuse, and criminal record. So there's a lot, I guess.
Yeah, that determined. But
And if you're likely to make bail, then they probably make it higher.
But also, if you're considered a flight risk, they'll make it higher as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
So
they
it
just won't
says-
give you one.
If they think you're going to run away, they make it extremely high.
Yeah.
The likelihood of you not sticking around makes it go higher.
Yeah.
It's also said. So
Yeah.
You get your bail money back when the person you bailed out shows up for their court at the appointed court date.
Regardless if they're innocent?
This is what it says. If you paid the court the full amount of bail, then you get almost 100% of the bail money returned to you.
Almost.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
They probably take some amount.
If you paid a bail bonds agency a portion of the full, then the money you gave to the bondsman is considered their fee for posting the full amount, and it is non-refundable.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess
kinda fucked
because
up.
a bondsman is like a third party who
And they make money off
do
of
it. Yeah.
Shout out to bonds that I don't feel like anybody uses anymore.
I guess stocks and bonds. Yeah, I guess not really. Bonds
People
are
use
kind of old
stocks, but
fashioned.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I
bonds
cashed in all my bonds when I turned 18.
Yeah, I think I don't even think I have bonds. I never
No?
had them.
Well, that was like everybody gave like bonds to when like the kids were born in my family.
Well, maybe because I wasn't born here. But I did get
Your family do that?
Sorry, what? I'm reading more about the bonds.
Like that, like when you were born, like your family members and stuff gave your parents like bonds for when you turned like 18 or whatever.
Yeah, I think I used it for culinary school. I think I did have some.
I didn't
Not
get,
many.
I didn't get bonds when I was adopted, but I did get a investment account started in my name. And my brothers had that as well when they were born. Not bonds though.
Oh yeah, we got bonds and
Yeah, does
and-
anybody do that anymore? I even forgot
think
that
so.
even fucking existed.
I was gonna
until
say,
you
it
just
does
brought
seem
that up
like
right now.
more
I'm like,
old
oh yeah.
Old fashioned.
They even
like
taught us. Well, I don't know if they taught you,
because it's
you guys at
it's
school, but
it's
they
like
did in elementary for
guaranteed
us.
money because it doesn't change value, but it's just not super necessary
But you also
anymore
can't access it for like so fucking
until you're
long.
18 usually.
yeah. And but because I
Sometimes
guess
21.
I guess because it doesn't increase in value,
But it also doesn't decrease.
you don't have to pay taxes on it when you get it.
That might be right.
Because I think actually that could be lie. Because I know like a gift under 10,000,
Yeah.
you don't pay taxes on. But maybe if your bond,
But you
is
can also get only one gift of 10,000 a year.
correct. But if maybe your bond, like let's say your parents gave you one that was like $30,000, then maybe you would have to pay taxes on the 20,000 of that
Right.
portion. But I'm not sure how a bond works for your child, because
Yeah.
it's not like investments where you're actively gaining. Because it's not considered income.
Technically, it is. Technically, it is accruing money, but it is accruing the money that was already put forth.
Right, but it's not. I don't think it counts as income in the way that investments does.
I don't
Or
think it does either.
stocks, because that's ever changing, whereas the bond is one flat rate.
Do we really want to keep talking about finances?
Sorry.
No, I just was just thinking about this. I was like, yeah,
Vaguely finances.
because I know we all know so much about. Well, Sage does.
I know a little about finances.
I don't know shit about finances.
My
Not
job
like-
technically is in finances.
I
so-
am much more dumb in that area than I feel like I should be, but I make sure my taxes are paid, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's
As you should.
Yeah.
I walk away after that.
Yep.
So
that's pretty much fine.
You guys do your taxes yet?
No, I have to give my
Nah.
stuff to my accountant.
I would be so glad if our country was one of those countries that, like, you know,
Auto did it for you?
because they already know exactly what you're supposed to owe anyway.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. I forget which comedian says it, but the fact that they know exactly how much you're supposed to pay and you're supposed to figure it out. And then if you get it wrong,
They
like you can
penalize
get a fee.
you.
Yeah. Or
But
like
if they
you could
get
go
it
to
wrong,
jail.
they're like, oops.
Yeah, like that's fucking wild. Like they know how it. Just tell you. Just send a bill. Like it just. It
Yeah,
makes
but
no sense.
Either send me a bill or send me my refund. Like,
yeah, like why are we the ones
Well,
that have to
Because of the middlemen.
I think the only thing
TurboTax and everything, and they lobby for them to make sure they don't do that.
I guess,
But
But
No,
they
that
never
is
should have
it.
set up that in the first place. Like it, I don't know. Weird,
yeah, because
weird.
taxes existed before TurboTax
No, I know.
or
but,
something in that same ilk.
there are other middlemen before TurboTax.
Yeah, I mean, we've had accountants forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
but accountants aren't just for taxes.
No, you're right, but they do
Yeah.
Yeah.
taxes.
They should have just never set up that somebody is supposed to figure out how much money they owe.
When the IRS
Maybe-
already knows.
Yeah.
Maybe because when we were like separating from Britain, we were like, we want to be so different that it inconveniences ourselves.
I guess so.
We want to be
Uh-huh.
so not like our parents that we make our own lives worse.
Rebelled
Right.
too hard.
Yeah, rebel too hard.
Anyway. So, do you have any other thoughts on Velma?
I may or may not finish Velma. I don't know if I feel like torturing myself with it.
I think you'll eventually.
I think
finish
I
it.
think I'll.
You're already halfway
Wait,
there.
I have something to say about Velma. So I think also, and I don't know if this is actually true. Again, only watched one episode, but like there might just be like a disconnect with our like age range that sees the show as fucking horrible. Because I actually watched it with my aunt, who's 52 maybe. And she actually did laugh at like a couple things. I did not laugh the entire fucking time, but she laughed at a couple things in the episode. And afterwards, I was like, "Did you find that funny?" And she's like, "It was entertaining." Like she didn't totally.
I feel like
hate
it's funny in term. Well, I mean, if I had to guess, that it's like funny in terms for her that like it feels like a show that's making fun of the exact group
I don't
of people
know.
that be
I
watching it. So then
like,
like
quizzed
older people
her.
would find it funnier because they're like, "This is
Yeah.
exactly what those kids sound like."
I should have gone deeper into like, what about this?
Yeah,
Did you
were
find
you
funny?
were you entertained by?
Yeah,
Because I feel like this show is exactly what like people who are like against woke media think this kind of show would be, and it's exactly like it. But it's weird because it also is like making like wants to make fun of those kind of people.
Yeah.
So it's just making fun of everyone, and I really don't know who this show is like trying to cater towards.
I think that's
Mindy
their problem.
Trying to cater to her specifically.
I was gonna say, I think they're trying to cater to too many people.
But
And maybe like that they're
it's-
shitting on it, but like also doing it at the same time. I don't know.
But it's
I don't really understand. This show's fucking stupid.
it's weird because like the way that they talk for the most part is not like how humans talk.
Yes.
It's extremely stilted and weird. I don't know why. But then also they don't make a single joke that lands. When I tell you I did not smirk, smile, chuckle, or giggle once in all 5 episodes. Not once. In a comedy?
Yeah.
Well, that's the exact thing of when she, giggled or
Oh.
whatever. That's why I was like, you found this entertaining.
I remember the other good thing of note.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at the beginning of every episode, there's no real opening. It's just like a Velma title card. And the title card, once it flashes Velma, it changes into like a shape or whatever that relates to the episode. I thought that was cute. And they do a different one for every episode.
Mm-hmm.
That is cute. Great. Your 3-second title card.
Yeah.
You didn't fuck it up.
You did it.
Also, in the previously on, when it's like, here's what happened in the previous episodes, it's
They're
like
really doing that for a 25-minute episode.
I don't know.
Like it.
They are, but it's stupid.
And you didn't even have to wait week to week to watch this fucking show, did you?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it came out all at once.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know about that.
But anyway, so on the previously on, it's like still photos from like,
No, it
each
was weekly.
scene.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
I
So
guess that makes sense.
it's like screen grabs of each scene, but it's on like a, detectives like
Oh, sorry.
board
with, like, the
red lines.
It was 2 episodes a week.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
kinda
like
weird,
that
though.
with like the red strings, like connecting
Yeah.
the dots.
Mhm.
That's what their previously on was on, which I thought was cute as well.
Okay.
So 3 good aspects in this whole show, and 2 of them were in the first 1 minute.
All downhill from there.
You know what show is good?
What was the third thing?
The hallucination sequences.
Oh, the animation.
Yeah, the animation
yeah,
for those were
gotcha.
really good.
You know what is a good show?
What is a good show?
The Last of Us.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I don't know anything about it. What the guy that everybody's obsessing
Pedro
over.
Pascal.
Yeah.
Love that man.
That's fine, but TikTok just keeps trying to shove him down my throat, and I'm like, how many times can I hit not interested? I don't know who the fuck this man is. I don't know what
He's
this
been
show
in like
is.
every movie and show in
me
like the
watching
past 5
all of the thirst traps about him.
Which is fine, but if I'm actively hitting not interested, maybe one day I will be interested, and then I'm glad that I'm getting this. But if I'm actively hitting not interested on it, stop giving me his videos. They're like, maybe you watched it now. Maybe you like it now. What are you doing?
The memes with him and Nicolas Cage in the car, funny almost every time. You know what I'm talking about though? No.
That's not one of the things
no?
that came up. No, it's like thirst traps. It's
Yeah.
him dancing. Like,
Love Pedro Pascal. You watched Game of Thrones, didn't you?
No.
Oh.
Not even one episode.
Never mind.
So
You wouldn't like it. Actually, you would like the first 4 seasons.
well,
And then
it's
you
not
would
worth
hate
it's not worth my time to
No,
even.
you would literally hate your life afterwards.
Yeah, it's not even worth it to get into. Did you ever finish it? Wasn't that like one of the things that you needed
Yeah,
to finish?
she finished
forever?
that and fucking Breaking Bad now.
Yeah.
Did you finish My Hero?
No.
She still
Damn,
hasn't
she
even
could've
finished
been,
season
She
5.
could have been 3 for 3.
Yeah, sorry.
Well,
I said I need to watch season 6. I'm just waiting for it to
2
be
out of
done.
3 ain't bad.
Hmm?
2 out of 3
I
ain't
know, right?
bad. So.
But yeah, I
But-
finished Breaking Bad, and I
have
need
to
Mike to
yeah,
watch it.
have to
I
start it.
watched all of Breaking Bad in high school, and I can't tell you what the fuck happens in that show.
Okay,
My mind
watch
deleted
it again.
I
It's
won't.
so good.
Deleted.
It's only 5 seasons.
I feel like if you watched a recap, you'd probably.
Yeah,
jog your
it
memory
it
enough.
would. But like how do you watch 5 seasons of a show, every single like episode of
Right.
it, and it's gone?
I had
I
a
don't know.
roommate in college who was so obsessed with Breaking Bad. She would just
There were
have it.
so many people that were just like obsessed
Everybody
with
was
it.
obsessed with Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. It was the same with Game of Thrones.
She would literally just have it on repeat in her room
Did I ever
from start to finish. Just
Did I ever tell you about my horrible roommate in culinary school?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I could go on for fucking hours about her. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about this one specific part because we're running out of time anyways.
Before
and
she
it's-
goes on, Last of Us is great. Watch Last of Us.
And it's kind of pertaining to how Breaking Bad would always play. This girl would play, you know, the movie, the cartoon movie Home with Rihanna?
Rihanna?
Yes.
And Sheldon?
Yes.
Yeah.
On repeat.
Why? That movie's
Oh, the
not
alien?
even.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie's not even that good.
Never saw it. Never had the
It's
interest.
Every
very
single
okay.
day.
Why?
I don't know. She always had that and the Kevin Hart special that was like she wasn't ready. Like that fucking thing.
The
That one
fuck?
on every single day. I would just try and be studying. I just wanted to come back from my class that ended at fucking like 10 p.m. And like I was so fit in college because I had to escape her. So I would go to the gym and then I would sit in the sauna for like an hour just so I wouldn't have to go back to that room because and full fucking blast.
Oh my
Also
God.
like a One Direction album and nothing else. She played these 3 things and nothing else ever. Like it it was driving me fucking insane. And then she was horrible for other reasons, so this just made it like
Even worse.
oh my god. But like it's a
I think
Home over and over
I
again.
think it should be a policy amongst all humans that if you live with another human and
Headphones.
you're going to watch, listen, or consume
and
any
not
media,
together.
yeah, if you're
Headphones.
not actively watching something together,
Yes.
both parties need to wear headphones.
Yep. For sure. I don't
The only time that's not the case here is if I'm watching something on TV and Kieran comes down and then he'll just put on his noise canceling headphones and play Xbox something on his TV and I'm like, all right. Mostly because I also can't switch my TV to
that's fine.
headphones, but-
Also because he can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like you
and
were
if
already
it's
there,
noise
he can go to
canceling,
his
he's
room.
not hearing what you're hearing.
Yeah.
Versus
That's
like
fine.
a dorm room where you'd both just have to be in this singular room like the whole fucking
Yeah.
time.
I had a roommate that would do like FaceTime with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Say hi to my boyfriend.
Oh no.
Say hi to my boy. I don't want to talk to your boyfriend. We just met in this room 3 hours ago when our parents brought us here. We don't have this relationship.
Just to talk to your boyfriend.
Please stop.
Also, that roommate of mine had sex in the room like while I was there
No.
with my like me and my ex-boyfriend were there.
Like,
And
just like in the open?
so
Or
our
like
room,
under a blanket? Or
our
like-
room was divided.
By
So
like desks.
yeah, by our bed and desk. So it was actually smart. She set it up, and like it was already set up before I got there because she was there first. But so mind you, she was also gone for a week, maybe 2, like when I first got there. But all her stuff was there. I was like, was this girl murdered? I was like, I don't know where
fuck did
she
she
is.
go?
Everybody in my class was talking about meeting their roommates and everything, and I was just like, I don't.
I have a room
So
and there's
she-
a bunch of stuff
she
there.
apparently
I feel like I'd be kind of annoyed if I walked into my room and it was already arranged in
She-
some other person's way.
I don't don't know. She apparently like had dropped that class that she was currently in, so she had gone home while she was waiting for the like class
Another
to
class
finish.
to assign.
Yeah, but so she didn't even know she was getting a roommate. So like one day she just had to come home, and I was just,
Hey.
hi. Yeah, but that's separate. But so, me and my ex-boyfriend, he was staying for the weekend, and we were there, and my bed faced like the window, and they were divided by desks. Like hers faced this way, mine faced this way. So it literally made like a wall, except for like one little walkway at the edge. And so we couldn't see anything, but so she had told me like, oh yeah, you can lock the door. Like there was another college that was by, and she was like, I'm going to a party there. I'm staying there overnight. So I was like, okay, cool. Sounds
Love.
good. So we didn't even know that she came back, but in the morning we awoken to her having sex with this guy, and we are on the opposite side of the door. Hers is the side with the door.
So you
Mine
can't
is the
even leave.
leap out the window. Like, so we had to like, we both woke up and we're just staring at each other like, what, this is happening, right? Like, what do we do? And I think I made him, no, maybe I did, I don't know, one of us like asked him like, could you like keep it down please? Like, 'cause we're like, what the fuck, what are we supposed to do? And we tried so hard to like go to sleep to just kind of ignore it, but it was just so awkward that
You
like
should have just started playing like a movie full volume.
for some reason
She's
I
a
thought
screamer. It's too loud. It
Drown
doesn't
out
matter.
the sound.
but I didn't have a TV. Like I guess I could have played something on my phone. I don't know. I think we eventually got up and left. Like we were just like, all right, we just gotta like just tunnel,
Just avert
like
your
horse
eyes,
blinds,
get to the door.
and just straight out.
It was like the house I lived in after like my second semester of, or yeah, somewhere around there, my second semester of Baylor when I was in Texas. Like the girl, because I was in a house,
Right.
and there was it was me and two other girls that were living in the house. I was on the bottom floor. They were on the top floors, and the girl that lived in the room right above me was basically never there. She was always staying with her boyfriend
I
at their
actually
place.
didn't even know you had a second female roommate. I only knew the
She
one.
was-
That's how
Yeah.
that's how unpresent she was.
Yeah, literally, she was like never there. It was great, except for the problem when she was there, because her and her boyfriend just banged constantly, literally all the time. And this girl was the loudest fucking.
Oh
Like-
my god.
Like, and I'm right under them, so I could hear the entire thing going on. You could hear the fucking bed slamming against the goddamn ground, like everything. Like there was no imagination to have. You could hear it all. And I'm just like sitting in the room under it, just like
All right.
putting my
Yeah.
headphones on, just watch something or whatever. But when I tell you, like, she was so loud, I had to specifically buy like Bose noise canceling headphones
Oh
to
my
like, because I was like,
Lord.
I like not specifically for this. I was like, I wanted them anyway, but it was like more of an incentive to be like, fuck it, I'm buying them now. I guess like she was so loud.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't care what sex you're having, it can't be that good.
There was a guy.
Like, it can't be that good that you are breaking the sound barrier with your.
There
your
was a
screams.
guy at my college who I'm pretty sure lived in a dorm from freshman to senior year because he didn't want to move out of his dorm.
Okay.
So he just
Okay.
like got a like situation where they allowed him to like keep his stuff there year round. So he wouldn't have to like depack it and then
And then go
reco
somewhere,
back for the
yeah.
summer or whatever. But this girl who lived, because he was on the second floor, so there was somebody above him and there was somebody below him because it was only 3 floors. But this poor girl who lived below him, we would talk occasionally and she would be like, oh yeah, that guy, I know him, he lives right above me and I hear him fucking all the time. To the point she went to the point where I know his fuck schedule and I just am not in my dorm when I'm pretty sure he's going to be fucking.
Oh my god.
No, it's probably like he got out of class with the girl or something and was like, all right, well.
All right, let's get a quickie in or
yeah,
whatever.
I guess that's true.
I thought you were going to say, like, she knows how long it lasts every time. Like,
She probably does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably does, but she was like, it was literally like she thought the like because it's like this is the ceiling and then it's the floor. She was like, I really thought just one day, right through the ceiling.
Yeah. I feel her pain.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, okay, last thing.
Okay.
Call back to an old episode where you told the story about how the person having sex in the car
Oh, yeah.
and she stared
Oh,
at
yeah.
you. I'm still not over that.
Yeah. When I went, she like.
Really good. You should plug the episode so
I don't
people
remember
can.
what episode that was.
You'll
in.
find it when
That
you
was
edit
so
it.
you
long
find
ago.
it when
Yeah.
you're editing, put it on the screen.
Oh my god, you guys have to listen to the story. It's fucking wild. It keeps me up at night. I cannot believe that.
Just like her staring into my soul.
Yeah.
It keeps me up at night.
Oh,
my
good
God.
lord.
It's fucking wild.
Anyway, so many people. I caught so many people getting.
I know.
getting
I
laid in
literally
RCC.
can't believe that. Cut that out. Thanks. Don't say locations.
Yeah, whatever.
I cannot believe that these stories, like specifically that this many like things can happen to one person. That it just keeps happening.
Yep. My life is surrounded by other people getting laid. Anyway. Hey, thanks for watching this week's episode of the Vaguely Anime Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, like, follow. Don't forget to check out Kat at Kat the Moonstar on Twitch. You have 2 weeks to watch Trinity Blood. That's a show that exists.
Yeah.
And,
Haven't started it. Gotta do that.
Boy. And
Can't
yeah, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we're gonna have a guest next week
We are.
also, so there's that.
Woohoo.
Yay. All right, bye.
Bye.